I always thought I had a fast metabolism, and that building more muscle would make me a fat burning machine, until I realized that I was just fat. And weirdly enough, that was the moment when everything changed. If you've ever wondered why you're not losing weight, even when you try everything, this might be the video that finally clicks. I've always tried to lose weight, testing all kinds of diets, measuring everything I ate, cutting out certain foods entirely. But I always ended up in the same place that I was at, or eating even more than before. My belief was that I had a slow metabolism, that I just wasn't burning enough calories. And how was I planning on fixing that? By building more muscle. Because muscle is supposed to make you a fat burning machine. So what happened? I did build muscle. I got stiff as a plank, but I also packed on more fat than ever. I might lose a few kilograms before my mind somehow pulled me back to the belief that I had to build more muscle. And before I knew it, I was gaining fat again. So what did I get wrong? I did not, and still don't, have a slow metabolism. I was just eating way too much food. Yes, muscle burns calories, but it's not a volcano, it's a scented candle. And that whole point about me snapping back to my old beliefs, my mind was stuck, running a loop of dieting, thinking my metabolism was too slow, going back the wrong way from an attempt at becoming Ronnie Coleman. So what changed? At one point, I looked myself in the mirror, and instead of seeing all that beautiful muscle mass I was building, Ronnie Jr., I finally saw myself for what I was: fat. I was fat, I felt miserable, and I wanted to change bad. I felt ashamed, so deeply ashamed I almost didn't want to look at myself in that mirror again. That level of pain was my turning point. I knew that I couldn't keep doing what I had been doing, and I was desperate for results. So I set up a goal to lose a kilogram and get a six pack. Yes, it was a bit unrealistic, but it gave me the motivation that I needed to start. That goal led me down the rabbit hole of trying every diet under the sun. And when I finally understood that I get hungry the moment I start eating, was when one meal a day was the clear answer. And here we are, over 30 kilograms later, probably a billion weight measurements later, a ton of hunger and freezing my ass off. I'm finally at a point where I'm in control. I feel like an athlete, I'm functional, and I move freely. But best of all, I feel pride when I look in the mirror, and I want that for you too. So, how did I go from who I was to who I am now? I followed this framework. The first step, the goal. Set up your dream goal. Imagine how you'll look, how you'll feel, where you'll be. Create a short sequence, like a movie in your life that you can see clearly. For me, it was myself with a six pack in a muscular body, recording videos on a yacht. The second step, obsession. When you have your dream goal, that short 5-second sequence of your dream self playing in your head, you have to become obsessed with it. I don't mean like dreaming about it. I mean walking, talking, and breathing it. You have to want that as bad as you want to live another day. And no, you don't have to tell anyone about it. Obsession in private is fuel. Let your results speak for themselves. In the beginning, you should be thinking about it when you wake up in the morning and when you fall asleep at night. The third step, action. Now that you're craving that new version of yourself, ask yourself, what would that version of me do? how would he or she act? And when you have to make a decision, think about whether it will move you closer or further away from that image of your future self. I'm hoping you're probably thinking something along the lines of, is this guy crazy? That sounds insane. That means you've got potential. Do you need to be that obsessed? No, unless you want massive results. If you're fine staying the same, then sure, don't. Do you really need a goal that clear? Only if you want to stop drifting and start driving your own progress. A ship without a captain doesn't get far. And you may even be one of those who understands that this is true, but you're sitting there wondering if it wouldn't be a good idea to just start tomorrow instead. Like you've done all the other times when you've never changed. So, what does your dream sequence look like? Describe it in vivid detail down in the comments. The more real you make it, the more likely it is to become your reality. Don't just watch, participate. I'll read every one. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and let's grow together. And if you want to get even more detailed posts about fat loss and mindset, I'd love to see you over on Patreon, where I share all my deepest knowledge.